Hi, I'm Jean Lawler, your host of the Roads to Resolution, Closure, and Certainty podcast, and it's great to be here with you today. So, what's on my mind? Well, three of the biggest mistakes that I see attorneys make when they're in my mediation room. And that room could be an in-person conference room or it could be in a Zoom room. It doesn't really matter. The mistakes tend to be the same. So let's get to it. What do I think the three of the biggest are? Well, the very first one, I think most would agree, is where the parties are there to negotiate, but the decision maker is not in attendance and not participating in the mediation. Not having the decision maker there, the one who can write the check or the one who can agree to a settlement if you're on the plaintiff's side, that really is, it can be of the mediation before it even begins. So having the decision maker there or a decision maker who has sufficient authority, or is so common with insurance companies, if the person has enough authority to make a decision, and then also if they need that they can contact their supervisor or whoever else it might be at the office in case the numbers are bigger than whatever authority that the claims representative came with. But I've seen it with plaintiffs as well. There maybe is a parent or a spouse or a friend or um, others, contractual partners that need to be consulted with before there can be a settlement. Anybody who's a decision maker needs to be at the mediation, okay? Needs to be participating in the mediation. And with Zoom, it really is, it's so easy that there's almost really no excuse to not have the decision makers truly available and participating. So that's what I see as the first of the three biggest mistakes that lawyers make in my mediation rooms. The second one that I would mention is sacrificing strategic negotiation to what I'm calling the emotions of the client. The clients on both defense and on plaintiff side, there's plenty of emotions usually. Everybody believes that they're right, their position is correct. Most people believe that they will prevail at trial, or even if they don't believe they'll prevail, they think they have a better case than the other side or whatever it might be. And clearly, if you go to trial, someone wins and someone loses. And when there are other emotions out there like anger or I don't know, upset, frustrations that boil over, that can cloud one's judgment. And when I see lawyers adopting their clients' um, angst and anguish and emotional outbursts, even, that really says to me that those lawyers have, I don't know, maybe you could say they've crossed a line, so to speak, but that they're not in control anymore of their own emotions, so that they're not really thinking strategically, they're thinking emotionally. And emotions for clients are fine, of course, but for the lawyer who's supposed to be guiding the clients, they should not sacrifice uh, that role for strategic negotiation to the reality or the fact of adopting the emotions of the client. The lawyer should not be screaming at the mediator. The lawyer should not be, rolling eyes and being so disgusted at the defense or the other party, whatever it might be, that they are not, again, guiding their client toward a good resolution or one that the client might be able to live with, or at least to have explored it so the client will know if they have the possibility of resolution at that point in time. Again, being mindful that most cases do settle. So it is really very important that on a mediation day that not just are the decision makers present, but that they are present with lawyers who are in the right frame of mind to help the client over the emotional reactions, the emotional humps, and to think strategically and make conscious decisions and, give their best shot at trying to get the case settled. that day anyway, or at least set the stage for the future settlement. And then the third thing that I see is when lawyers make what I'm calling here incredible demands or offers, and then at the other extreme, giving up too soon. So, I use the word incredible just as an offshoot of the word credible. If someone is demanding an 8-figure settlement number for an opening offer for a case that should settle with a 6-figure number, perhaps, maybe a low 7-figure, to be demanding 8 is not especially credible. They're sacrificing their own credibility in the process for this, and that's not good. The lawyer should come in knowing his case, knowing her case, and knowing what the damages really are or are not, what the maximum recovery might be in that particular jurisdiction for whatever the damages are. And, trying to use punitive damages or an insurance case, insurance bad faith, as a way to really ratchet up the response from the defense, and in turn then making a huge demand, is not going to get the response that the plaintiff is hoping for. By the same token, for the defense to come in and give a nuisance value, and nuisance value can range from a low 4-figure number to 6 or 7 figures, even depending on the nature of the case and what the issues are and what the damages are. But just only going to nuisance value without recognizing the exposure or the value of the case, and of course, starting your negotiations at less than, at the end of the day, what you would hope to pay, that too triggers reactions from the other side where there could be a loss of credibility on either side. And then don't give up too soon. I've had lawyers in who come to the mediation thinking it's never going to settle. And I say, no, 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 no. You can't think that way. You have to think positively. But then when there are lawyers who want to just leave, or they might even be screaming and shouting and not even want to get started, but hopefully that is very rare, but it has happened. But some lawyers think that just threatening to walk out and then walking out, is a good strategy. I would say to you, I don't think that it is. Hang in there, make the time count, use the time you have, and try and get to the best deal that you can, or at least narrow what I call the dance floor, between the last offer and the last demand, to a point where it's where what you're walking away from, or where where you would be back to begin with if and when you resume. Actually, it's when, not if, because of course, if you don't settle in a mediation, you will be talking settlement again. A judge will be sure to see to that. So do your best. Never give up too soon. Stranger things have happened, right? And try and make your demands, opening demands especially, reasonable, and not in the realm where they're insulting, the insulting aspect of it. Make them in a realm of reasonable or somewhat credible, that kind of thing. Okay, because everybody knows that you just got to work to make the demands go up or down. The offers go up, the demands go down, and so while some of it's fine, be credible. All right, so those are three lawyers making mistakes about. Every case is unique, of course. So good luck to you, and all the best to you in your mediation practice and your negotiations when you are trying to get cases settled. I'm sure you'll do a wonderful job. So thanks so much for joining me today. And please feel free to follow me on, subscribe to my YouTube channel or my podcasts. They're wherever podcasts are, or everywhere where podcasts are able to be found. All right. Thanks again. We'll see you next time. Bye.